Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to King Chef Poetry.
I was born into love that hummed like lullabies through cracked windows, where the world outside might have been wild, but inside, I was wrapped tight in the arms of three women who carried storms just to give me sunshine. My mother's voice was a blanket. Even when life pulled too hard on her spirit, she still braided hope into my days and tucked it behind my ears with every kiss goodnight. She taught me that gentle could be fierce, that protection wasn't silence, it was presence. My sister, she was the lookout on life's rooftop, always ahead, eyes sharp, throwing herself between me and the things I was too young to name. She called me little man, like she knew the world would try to take my softness, and she wanted to slow that down. And Grandma had prayers folded into every crease of her hands. She fed me faith before I even knew how to spell it. Her hugs were sermons, long, warm, and quiet. They told me I mattered, even when the mirror hadn't learned how to reflect me yet. I didn't know struggle had a name back then. I just knew I was loved, deep, loud, overprotective, like the universe was trying to keep me whole for just a little longer. They shielded me from the bruises the world hands out for free, built a fortress of soft voices and full plates, kept the darkness from touching my dreams. Even when the bills stacked higher than the hopes, they made magic out of just enough. And I believed in it, believed in them. I used to think all boys had queens in their homes. Didn't know I was royalty in a kingdom built on survival and sacrifice. The streets were close. I could hear their hunger calling from the sidewalk, but my mother's "not you" was louder than any siren. I grew up held, not just by arms, but by intention, by women who knew the weight of the world and refused to let it press me down too soon. So yeah, I was quiet, but not from fear. I was listening to love that showed up every day, even when life didn't. I came up on love so strong, I thought it could hold back the world forever. Mama's arms still fit around me. Grandma's prayers still stuck like honey to my skin. And my sister's warnings still rang like bells in the back of my mind. Watch who you call friend. Watch who you give heart to. Watch the streets when they smile at you. But I was young, and young don't always listen. Young thinks it knows how deep the pool is, till it can't touch the bottom. My teenage years, man, they were the best and the mess. Good as it gets, in that way where summer days tasted like freedom, and first kisses made you believe in forever, even if forever only lasted 2 weeks. I laughed a lot, trusted too quick, gave love like I had an endless supply, like pain wasn't real or wouldn't come for me. I was gullible, not stupid, just unarmored. I believed in people, believed in friends that ghosted when shit got loud, believed in girls who said forever but kissed somebody else by Friday. I blamed myself for not seeing it coming, like maybe if I was more or less or different, they would have stayed. But even then, it wasn't all bad. There were nights I felt like a king in my skin, music loud, sneakers fresh, the whole block knowing my name. There were moments when the city didn't feel like a trap, but like a playground. We were wild and stupid, but alive, and sometimes that was enough. I learned fast, though, that loyalty's a language most don't speak, that the ones who dap you up in daylight might knife you in the dark, that love, real love, ain't always sweet. Sometimes it's silent, sometimes it's work, sometimes it's walking away from who you thought you were, just to survive who you're becoming. I held on, to the good, to the laughter, to the warmth that still lived in Mama's cooking, and Grandma's quiet hums, and my sister's sharp tongue telling me I was still her baby, even when my voice dropped and my eyes got harder. Yeah, my teens, they taught me everything. How to break, how to build, how to bleed with your head held high. They didn't destroy me, just carved out space for the man I was about to become. I've buried more love than I ever thought I'd have. Mama was the first. Her breath leaving this world felt like mine did too. but I kept breathing somehow, and then they kept going. My sister, my nephew, my grandmother, each lost a different earthquake, splitting my heart into fault lines no one else could see. And I kept walking, but it was never the same. I became an introvert, not by choice, but because the world stopped feeling like home. People talk loud about healing, but they don't know what it's like to be surrounded by ghosts that never knock before entering. The pain turned into depression, the nights into battlegrounds, anxiety like static in my chest, ADHD chasing every thought in a circle, and PTSD. PTSD made everything louder than it needed to be. Every door slam was a threat, every kindness a trick waiting to be revealed. I tried. Lord, I tried. Trusted people who said they'd help only to get used. Money stolen, promises broken, hope chipped away until it looked like dust. There were nights I slept in cars, in shelters, on cold truths. And still, I wrote. Poems pouring out like prayers, like I was begging paper to hold what people couldn't. But even that isn't working now. The words are bleeding but not healing, just echoes. I moved back to Maine, not for peace but for presence, to be near my sons, to be a better father than the world had given me. And for a while it felt good, real, holy even, like maybe this was the redemption song. But time moves fast, and kids grow faster, and now their lives stretch long without me in the middle. I get fragments of their days, not the whole story. I smile when they visit, but loneliness pulls up a chair the moment they leave. And here I am, still breathing, still aching, still writing, still praying for something to stick. I'm tired, not the kind of tired sleep can fix, but I keep going, because somewhere in the silence, I still believe there's a light meant just for me, even if it's faint, even if it flickers, even if it hides behind the dark, because I survived, and that's not nothing.